everybody, welcome back to another video with ElectraSoul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual bitch putting everybody on. What I intend to do is to teach people that God and Jesus and the universe coexist as one. Now today in this video, guys, this is going to be a video based on the beliefs that you might have surrounding retrogrades, the planets, astrology in general, and the law of assumption, because I know that obviously as a spiritual girl, I do take into consideration what planets are going into retrograde and all that stuff, but there's a huge difference between me noting that and me allowing that to affect me, okay? Now the reason that I say this is because many people tend to, I think at least, overreact just a little bit when it comes to retrogrades and things like that, because whenever people see retrogrades happening, oh my god, the planets are orbiting backwards and all this stuff, they tend to allow that to affect them and their manifestations because they think the planets have more to say than I do, which of course is not true unless you allow that to be true. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It is as simple as not allowing for anything outside of you to affect you, no matter how much you believe in all of astrology, because even though I love astrology, I do not allow for any negative placements to affect me. I don't allow for any retrogrades to affect me, nor do I allow for anything that I don't like to affect me. So with that being said, let's get started with the video so that we can get to talking about this, because as y'all may or may not know, right now 6 planets are in retrograde and people are freaking the fuck out for no reason. So I just wanted to shed a little bit of light upon that so that you guys can just relax. I mean, I know the law of assumption community isn't worried about it because we don't let shit affect us, but this is just in general if you're experiencing doubts, okay? Okay, so now that we're in, let's get to talking about retrogrades and the law of assumption, manifesting, how it affects us, all that shit, because it really doesn't have to if we don't want it to. All right, so first things first. There are currently, as I've stated previously, 6 planets in retrograde. Those planets are Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury, okay? So generally speaking, in astrology, each planet has a different signification for what it brings to you, what it can make happen within your life, what areas of your life it affects, you know, things like that. So upon knowing that each planet has a certain purpose, I guess you can say, when it orbits in the way that it's supposed to, this is when those planets are considered moving forward, able to help you out in those areas, you know, things like that, because typically at that point they'd be referred to as performing the best. Although of course that doesn't really have to have an effect unless, again, you say that it does. So now with the retrograde, the thing is that these planets are orbiting backwards. So upon orbiting backwards, it kind of causes like a reverse effect on everything that that planet gives you. So let's talk about Mercury retrograde, for example, which feels to be the most common retrograde that we experience as a whole. So the planet Mercury rules communication. It rules the way that you talk to others, how smoothly that communication goes. So whenever Mercury is in retrograde, that means that the communication tends to get messed up. Things tend to get exposed through words. People tend to backstab others because the communication's just off, right? So take into consideration that alongside Mercury, there are also 5 other planets that are orbiting backwards, thus creating that kind of effect. But of course, that's all up to your belief. Whenever people hear about retrogrades, they tend to freak the fuck out because they think,
oh my god, everything's gonna explode, things are gonna go so wrong in my life, 6 planets are in retrograde, I can really feel it this time.
I mean, of course, you can definitely feel it if you're one of those people that stay updated with them. But guys, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, not one single fucking retrograde can affect you unless you allow it to. And the reason that I say this, again, is because of the way that people are treating this. It does not have to be a big deal. It does not have to make any kind of difference within your life. Nothing has to change, especially if you don't want it to, because this is how I live. I do not allow for any kind of retrogrades to affect me in any way, shape, or form because I don't want to be affected by anything else besides myself. I am the sole creator within my reality. If I know that I am that, how can I allow for anything, even planets, to affect me? Because I am naturally above those planets. Yeah, bitch, naturally above them, because you're number 1 within your reality. No matter what star explodes, no matter what happens to these planets, no matter what you go through in terms of anything, none of that shit has to have an effect on you unless you allow it to, and that's it. I need you all to remember that while these retrogrades are happening, you don't have to feel the effects of what's going on. I sure as fuck don't. I used to be able to feel the effects like a long time ago when I would keep up with them because I truly believed them. Anytime a retrograde came around, especially if it was Mercury, I was like, oh shit, something about to go down, and you know, things like that. Even though I do still think it's fun to keep up after and to look at and shit like that, it's not anything that I would ever allow to actually take hold of within my life because I don't want to feel the effects of that within my reality. If you don't want backwards communication, you don't have to have that. If you don't want your work life to get messed up, it doesn't have to happen. If you don't want your luck to get fucked up, it doesn't have to happen. Nothing has to happen unless you allow it to, and that's it. You are literally the creator of your reality. Not one single thing outside of you can affect you unless you allow it to, and that's it. That's fucking it. That's literally all that there is to it. Me being a spiritual person, I know that oftentimes people think like it's a little weird, or I guess like more difficult to understand, because the rules of the law of assumption kind of totally contradict everything that spirituality has to show you. And the way that that is because spirituality is more rule-based, I guess you can say. You can't do certain things, you should do certain things, some things are not allowed, you know, things like that. Whereas I'm one of those people that will literally affirm for whatever it is the fuck that I want, no matter what I believe in, because I know that my reality is totally warped around and based on what I want for myself. It doesn't matter what I see in front of me. I genuinely don't care what the rules of spirituality are, because there are no rules except for my fucking rules. That's it. I'm not gonna sit here and allow my life to be taken advantage of because outside circumstances are telling me how my life is supposed to go. Why does my life have to go that way if I don't want it to? Why do I have to do something I don't want to do if I don't want to do it? It is a choice that I make to allow for any of these spiritual things to be present within my life. All and any of them. Literally all a choice that I make for myself. If I decided right here, right now, I don't want these planets to affect me, I don't want anything else in my life to affect me except for me, they won't affect me because I literally chose that for myself. It is a choice for me to make. Now, upon knowing this, I think it's really important that you guys realize just how much your belief in things have an effect within your life. If you're one of those people that ride or die believe in what's happening with the planets right now, and you think that the effects of what's going on are definitely going to affect you, then they're definitely going to affect you because you're saying that they're going to affect you. You know, during the time that I ride or died in believing that the planets could definitely affect my life, y'all don't even know, like, the craziest shit would happen. Like, a car would break down, something would break within my house, maybe my phone would act up, maybe someone would break up with somebody else and I would witness it, like whatever it was. But I'm telling y'all right now, the effects of Mercury retrograde at that time, because I believed in it so much, would dead ass happen. And it would be because I would allow space for that to happen. I would think to myself, okay, we're in Mercury retrograde, everything's gonna get fucked up, something's gonna happen, something's gonna be exposed, I'm gonna learn something new. You feel me? And of course, each and every single time I truly did. Now, this also goes for those people who see those posts that talk about this Mercury retrograde, zodiac signs Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo are all gonna be heavily affected by this retrograde. Every single time I would see a post that would include my zodiac sign being affected by some sort of planet or whatever, I would always get fucking affected because I believed that I was going to be affected. And I swear, it always happened. The same thing goes for the times that my zodiac sign would not be listed. I would be like, I'm excluded, nothing's gonna happen to me. And guess what? Nothing happened to me. Can y'all believe that? Like, it really is all up to your beliefs. It's all up to what you say to yourself, what you believe is going to happen, and that's what ends up happening because you keep saying it to yourself. These planets, I do believe, are definitely very powerful. I believe that everything in this world has power. It doesn't matter what it is. If something is within this reality, that means that it has some sort of effect, but of course, only if you say that it does. So the reason that I feel like everything in this world has power is because I said that it does, but nothing has more power than me. Do you understand? So no matter how many planets are orbiting backwards, how many planets are exploding, how many planets are doing wazah, whatever the fuck, like magic on us, it doesn't matter because I will not allow it to affect me. Tell yourself that you will not allow for any kind of retrograde to affect you, because there are even people out here telling you not to manifest while there's a retrograde. Can y'all imagine not manifesting for like a quarter of the year because the planets are in retrograde for that time? Like, absolutely not. You're not going to be one of those people that put your life on pause or on hold because you're afraid that what you're manifesting is now not going to be manifested because the planet said so. I don't give a fuck what the planet said. Are they you? Are they you? No? Okay, so then they don't have an effect on you. If they're not you, they don't have the same amount of power as you do. Period. They don't. If you are somebody who's putting your life on hold because of the retrograde, I'm gonna tell y'all right now to literally snap the fuck out of it. There is no reason as to why you should be wasting time, because I don't believe in time, not manifesting for what it is that you want, or at least actively manifesting, because you're always manifesting. But what I mean is that these people will literally take a step back to consciously manifest, aka affirming, because they're afraid. You're literally wasting your fucking time, bro. Like, stop doing it to yourself. You know that you want what you want. You know that nothing can affect you unless you say so. How can you allow for planets that you can't even see right now to fucking affect you, bitch? How can you allow it to? I don't give a fuck if they're bigger than Earth. I don't care where they are or what they do. I don't care. You are literally always going to be above all that shit because you are the creator of your reality. You're number one for a reason. You should never put you manifesting on pause because nothing can affect them. Nothing. I know that during these retrograding times, we hear a lot that you shouldn't make big decisions, or you shouldn't do things that you know will have a big effect in your life. Don't do anything that you're too unsure about. Like, honestly, guys, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care what it is. Because at the end of the day, they can't affect you. They can't make anything go wrong because nothing in your life can go wrong. Nothing is meant to go wrong because you're number one for for a reason, for a damn reason, because you're the one who's most in control of your reality. And upon being the most in control of your reality, you have all of the say in the world to create whatever it is the fuck that you want to create without fear of it going wrong or it getting messed up, because it can't. It literally cannot. Do not ever say to yourself that there will be a time for you to manifest, because I know that there are a lot of times too that there will be certain days like with the new or full moon where people say, manifest tonight. Tonight's going to be the most powerful night to manifest for whatever it is that you want. But in reality, I'm going to go against the odds and say any time is a great time to manifest. It doesn't just go for the end of the month when that full moon comes or that new moon. You don't have to wait around for no moon phase to happen. Manifest whenever you want, however you want, at the time that you want, because it's going to happen regardless of what time period you're doing it in. I promise it has no fucking effect. Even though I do love the moon phases, I do keep up with them. As y'all see, I do post them on my Instagram. Like, I obviously love all of this stuff regardless of anything else, but I also am not going to sit here and be a victim to all of these things happening around us because they're supposed to be beautiful things. The planets retrograding, I think, is amazing. I think it's really fucking cool, but I'm not going to sit here and tell myself that I'm a victim because those planets are telling me that some big car accident's going to happen because the planets are in retrograde. Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care. For the sole reason that I refuse to give my power away to anything outside of me. I refuse to be a victim to my reality. I refuse to sit here and allow all of these Twitter threads that are telling me that Capricorn's going to be affected in some way to actually affect me, because nothing can fucking affect me unless I allow it to, and that's it. Unless I allow it to, and that's it. If you know that you're that bitch of your reality, which you obviously are, how can you allow for anything to touch you? If you know that you don't want to be affected, don't allow yourself to be affected. Nothing has to affect you unless you allow it to, and that's it. It's all about your belief. It's literally all about your belief, and it doesn't just go for the planets. It goes for literally everything in regards to spirituality, and maybe not even just that, just the general beliefs that go for anything, because y'all might think like, oh, but they're planets, of course they affect us. Spirituality isn't going to teach us something that would actually limit us, but at the end of the day, like, y'all need to remember that a lot of people were raised on limiting beliefs. So even if you are spiritual and you are taught that you can and can't do that, you still have the same amount of freedom as you want to have, regardless of what spirituality is telling you. Me being a spiritual life coach and a manifestation coach, I have to be the one to come to a middle ground to realize that I can't be on one end saying that the planets will definitely tell you what you can or cannot do, and then on the other side saying manifest whatever you want whenever you want because nothing can affect you. I gotta choose a side, bitch, because one thing applies, and that one thing that applies is the fact that you can do anything that you want to do because we said so, and that's it. So regardless of what's going on around me, you will always be free to do whatever it is the fuck that you want, regardless of what you see, because nothing can affect you unless you allow it to, and that's it. And I will ride or die by that because it is the truth. I'm not gonna sit here and be a victim to my circumstances, even if they're spiritual. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are amazing things that I'm seeing out here in regards to the planets and everything, like I've stated before, but just because it's coming from a spiritual ground doesn't mean that it's set in stone solid. It is what it is, and that's it. Listen to it or you're dead. Absolutely fucking not. I kid you not. You will never catch me sitting here allowing for something outside of me to affect me, because I remember even back then when I manifested a few things without me knowing what the law of assumption was, I would religiously follow the phases of the moon. I would listen to the effects of the moon, everything, like not even just the moon, literally anything that had to do with effects, something that could affect me. This time of day is gonna affect me in this way, at night this, in the morning that, whatever it was, right? I would religiously follow that shit because I believed that it was set in stone facts. Like, I had to listen to it or nothing. But then as time went on, I realized that me listening so hard to these things were actually limiting the fuck out of me as opposed to letting me fly freely. You understand? Because I refuse to sit here and say,
okay, I'm gonna manifest during the full moon and that's it, one day a month. Okay, I think that's more than enough.
absolutely fucking not. I'm gonna be affirming each and every single day because I can. Because I fucking can. And yeah, even though I do still find very big interest within all this spiritual stuff, again, I am not going to allow it to affect me because it's not meant to affect me. I'm number one for a reason. I'll be damned if I allow for anyone or anything to tell me what I can or cannot do, because I am that bitch. I am that fucking bitch. And me being that bitch means that I can do whatever the fuck I want regardless of anything else, because I'm number one, because I'm the main character, because I'm not going to allow for retrogrades to tell me what I can or cannot do, because I am the one who's in control of it all. And that includes me being in control of them. I'm in control of everything. Everyone and everything within my reality is under control by me, because this right here is my reality. And within your reality, I want you to do the same for yourself. I want you to be wise. I want you to pay attention to what's around you and to not allow it to affect you if you don't want it to. Go ahead and stay updated with the retrogrades. Go ahead and stay updated with zodiacs. I always do, as y'all know, but do not allow it to affect you in a negative way if you don't want it to be negatively affecting you, because it's not meant to be negatively affecting you. It's definitely not supposed to be. If it's not helping you, it is not beneficial. Don't care what it is. If it's not helping you, it should have no part in your life, because it's only going to try and invoke more fear into you, and that's literally the last thing that you want. Fuck fear, fuck all that shit, fuck limiting things. Not gonna deal with it. If I don't want to, not gonna happen, because I'm number one for a reason, and that's it. I will always call the shots, I will always be in control, and I will always determine what happens within my life, as opposed to allowing for anyone or anything else to tell me what can or cannot go, because I'm number one for a damn reason. So yes, thank you to the planets, love y'all, y'all beautiful, but I'm still number one, because I'm the one who determines what goes, and that's fucking it. Period, bitch. That's it. Alright, y'all, that's basically it for my video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I intended this video up to the best of its ability, and I know that it did, because guys, listen up. Mercury retrograde does not have to affect you in the way that you don't want it to if you don't want it to. Do you understand? No planet has to affect you in any way, shape, or form if you don't want it to, simply because you do not want to be affected. You being number one means that you call the shots no matter what it is. So if you don't want anything outside of you to tell you what you can or cannot do, speak about or cannot speak about, act or cannot act, don't let it affect you. It does not have to affect you. I'm not gonna sit here and be a victim. I'm telling y'all right now, I am not going to sit here and be a victim to my circumstances, no matter what the fuck they're set in stone for, because no, they're not. In my reality, no, they're not. Science can tell me this and that. Astrology can tell me this and that. The stars can tell me this and that. I still won't believe a damn thing, because I'm the one who makes the rules. I am the one who makes the rules. We can defy gravity if we wanted to. I truly believe that. We can float if we wanted to. I don't care what it is, but we can do it all simply because we want to. And yes, we could do it during the retrograde. The retrograde's not going to affect us. If we want to date somebody during the retrograde, even though the retrograde tells you not to make big decisions in dating certain people because you might regret it after the retrograde's over, does not have to affect me. I'm gonna still date that person if I fucking want to. Nothing has a say over me except for me. I feel like it was very important for me to share this with y'all, because I just want y'all to open your eyes to just see that nothing has to affect you if you don't want it to, no matter what it is that's being spread or said around. Because I know, especially on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like whatever it is, plenty of people are talking about how the retrogrades are gonna do this, and oh my god, right now this, and oh my god, this, that, and it's retrograding harder than usual. Like, okay, I get it, I do, but the effects are not meant to be felt if you don't want to feel them. I sure as fuck have not felt one single thing. Not during this time, not during any time. Maybe in the past when I would, again, religiously keep up with the retrogrades, that's when I would feel the effects the most. I would have all this crazy shit happen to me, don't make big decisions and all this stuff, and I would literally listen to that, because I would be so petrified that if I made a big decision during a retrograde, that I was going to end up regretting it, or end up changing my mind at the end. But of course, I ended up not letting that affect me, so now it doesn't. Y'all see what I'm trying to say? It is as easy as using your mind to manifest your reality to be the way that you want it to be. Your life does not have to be bad if you don't want it to be bad. Your life does not have to be any other way that you don't want it to be if you don't want it to be that way. It does not matter how hard the planets are retrograding this year, bitch. I don't care if it's 100 planets. Not one single planet can determine one single thing for me, because I am the one single thing that I need to manifest every single thing within my reality, because that's what I want for myself. Do not sit there and allow yourself to be victim to what you're seeing. Do not allow yourself to be sitting there soaking up every single thing that you see either, because if it's not helping you out, like genuinely helping you out, why would you want to interact with that thing? Why would you want to be a part of that thing? Don't think that just because you're part of the collective and that the planets affect us as a whole, that you have to be affected. Again, nothing has to affect you if you don't want it to. So that's why I refuse to let anything affect me, even if I'm part of the collective, because bitch, I'm on top of the collective. I'm number one above it all. None of this shit means anything to me if I don't want it to mean anything to me. And even if I didn't want the retrogrades to exist, I can easily make that happen. I can completely disregard the fact that there's any kind of retrograde going on because I don't want to deal with that shit. Bye. And so I won't. Literally, in your reality, you can say that none of these retrogrades are happening and that nothing's affecting you simply because you decided that for yourself. Like literally simply because you decided that for yourself. How amazing is it knowing that you are the one who's in control of it all? You decide what goes and what doesn't go. You're the one who makes things happen or makes things not happen. Regardless though, you are the one who decides everything for you. So decide wisely. Don't let shit that you don't want to affect you, and continue manifesting on strong regardless of what phase the moon is in, because nothing can affect you unless you allow it to, and that's it. No matter what fucking planet it is, you're number one and you always will be, and so you will always have the control that you want and need, because it is destined for you, and that's it. That's literally it. Alright y'all, I will see y'all this Thursday for another video. Thank y'all so much again for watching. God bless y'all. Please take care everybody. And open your mind up just a little bit more, baby girl. I completely understand believing in the planets. I don't blame you for it. It's an amazing thing. Astrology is really cool. The planets are really cool, but they don't have to have any kind of effect on you if you don't want them to, sweetie. Literally, bitch. Get up out your head that the retrograde's gonna mess your life up. No, it's not. You can manifest right now. Nothing's gonna happen. Only the best things in life are gonna continue to happen for you, because because that's what you're deciding for yourself. You're not gonna sit here and be a victim to what's going on because, oh my god, this astrologer said this and this planet said, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. As someone who believes and follows and knows astrology, I'm telling y'all right now, not one single thing about it has to affect you if you don't want it to. Literally not one single thing about it has to affect you if you don't want it to. So then choose that it doesn't, because it's not meant to, and that's it. Bye. Okay, I really don't think that being a victim to the planets and shit like that is actually gonna help you in any way, shape, or form. Sure, you might cause some mishaps within your life, like maybe your car will break down, maybe your phone will explode, or maybe your boyfriend will break up with you, but do you really want to experience that shit? I don't think so. I really don't. So if you don't want to experience it, don't experience it. It's not meant for you, period, because you said so. If you know that you're the one who's in control, how are you going to allow for anyone or anything, even if it's planets that have been here for millions of years, to affect you if you don't want to be affected? I'm not gonna sit here and allow myself to be victim, so why should you? If I'm number one, then you're number one too, bitch. Get it together. Nothing can affect you unless you allow it to. So forget the retrogrades, forget the effects of it, because none of it can touch you unless you allow it to, and that's it. It is your choice to make though, baby girl. Be smart about it, because you can do this shit effortlessly because you said so, and that's it.